What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Civic. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is fundamentally VCs have been building up funds for the past year, billions and billions of dollars, and they're looking at, and most of these VCs are looking at entering into the multiple layers of Web3 stacks. Now, the big push that is really, I think, rallying and going to rally over the next couple of years is an identity layer on Web3, and I don't particularly like it, but I can see why it's coming. And Civic look well positioned to provide such an identity layer. As a result, I think that they can rally in price quite dramatically when that sort of real push, that sort of news cycle push, that rally for identity comes through. Before I get into that, though, guys, if you are new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I spoke about on this channel, and the first 26 coins that I actually owned when I made the channel. Had you put in $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them and then ignored them for 2 years, just went, slept on them, went to work, did your normal thing, had you done everything wrong, you'd still be in profit for 6.3k, doing everything wrong. But if you'd have done the right thing and sold these coins last year, like I did when the markets rocketed, $100 into each, a $2,600 investment would have netted you a profit of 123 grand. Big difference between doing the right and the wrong thing. Now, these aren't the coins I own anymore. I sold these. So if you want to see my portfolio, you can go to copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share my portfolio. I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. Members get a real-time update anytime I buy or sell a coin. We have tutorials set up for people that are brand new to crypto, which is a lot of the members. And on top of that, guys, we have a history of success on the channel, on our site. You know, Phantom was a coin no one was speaking about in 2020. Not a single YouTuber anywhere was saying this is going to be a big gainer. It was at a 9 million market cap or something when I started speaking about it. I said it would 100x or more. It is a 677x. So had you put in $1,000 into Phantom, you'd have been able to buy a beautiful house. If you'd put in $2,000 into Phantom, you would have netted 1.3 million if you'd have sold at the right time. Now, I will find another Phantom. When I do, I'm just going to go onto my site. I'm going to tell my members about it. I'm going to tell them what gains I think it can have. I'm going to tell them what percentage of my money I'm putting in. If you want to get the next big gainer, if you want to take the work out of it for yourself, you can do that. All you have to do is go to copymycrypto.com and join me there. Right, Civic, 8 cents right now. It's actually had an 11% bump today. Now, Civic is all about identity management solution. The whole premise is gives individuals and businesses the tools they need to control and protect their personal identity information. Web3, there's a firm belief that Web3 is fundamentally vital to have an identity verification or an identity solution that can be utilized across all Web3, all of Web3. So they use a distributed ledger tech to authorize identity usage in real time, and it's used sparingly. It's used to sparingly, share info with Civic partners after authorization by the user. So unlike some of the identity management services, Civic users store all their sensitive data on their mobiles, and users are able to authorize the sharing of specific data with a biosignature, so like your thumbprint. So the ecosystem is enabled by the utility token Civic, which is used for the settlement of identity-related transactions between Civic participants, such as a customer and a service provider. Now, Civic are invested in by DCG Portfolio and Pantera. They are also already on Coinbase. They're on Binance. They're on all the big exchanges. And if you know anything about Coinbase are not exactly like, they don't just throw coins onto their platform. So there's obviously a belief that Civic can do something good. Now, Civic have had a couple of issues over the past year. Particularly, one was, they confirmed the identity of a or the members of a crypto project and then they ended up doing a rug pull. Now, I personally don't hold Civic responsible in that because um, Civic did confirm the identity of these people, and then they still acted, even being doxxed, they did a rug pull. So Civic didn't do anything wrong, their bad actors did. And that's kind of been their only real that's been the big issue that sort of people did have a look at. So the whole premise is, look, multiple credentials but one identity that can be utilized across all platforms. And they actually put out a blog which I really um, wanted to share because I actually thought it was a really good, well structured piece of like breakdown of why they're pushing for identity. So Web 2 defined our identities through big tech companies that were given free rein to share our identity data once we opted into their platform. Web 3 flips the dynamic of the precedent, allowing every user to begin their interactions with a stronger position of privacy. So data sharing is considered off by default, giving every individual self-sovereign control over who gets to see what parts of their identity. Giant roadblock in the way of making this Web3 vision is a reality, and the problem is that we're addicted to our wallets. We associate our entire on-chain identities with our wallets, and now it's hard to extricate ourselves from this convention because we've built protocols around the user behavior. So examples of using a wallet as an identity include using wallets to log into sites, proving ownership of NFTs, to enter Discord servers, having our Ethereum name service domains tied to our wallets, and receiving token tickets and other documents via our wallets. And they point out, so why is it bad to allow wallets to serve as our identities? Well, to start, wallets rely on public keys unlocked only by private keys. If a user's private key is compromised, they no longer have control of their wallet. This means their Web3 personality, reputation, and assets are all gone with the lost private key. It's a devastating loss. Another problem with the approach is privacy. By nature, a public key and its digital assets are available for anyone to see. Transacting with the same public key continuously makes privacy impossible. And allowing a wallet to serve as an identity presents a flexibility issue. Either a user shares their key across multiple devices, which is a risk, or assets must be stored in a hot wallet. So to sum it up, using a wallet as an identity is not a strong foundation for a functional Web3. The behavior doesn't protect the user, and it doesn't change the dynamics of the identity data economy. So that's their point, right? And then they're stating, look, the solution that they've got uses a combination of concepts, which includes DIDs, tokens, and credentials. But the premise here is by utilizing DIDs, tokens, and verifiable credentials to create a platform that handles identity in a smart but simple way is what Civic does. So you can connect your wallet to civic.me, and you are connecting a decentralized identifier that allows you to connect multiple wallets together in a single identity across chain, define control of relationships between DIDs, and even add constraints. But that allowing multiple wallets to connect to each other is actually a very sensible way of doing things. Obviously, as long as your person, like as long as long as you don't lose your phone or end up in a situation where you've someone's got hold of your identity via presumably your phone. Civic also use tokens, but obviously they're utilized across Web3. And they also use verifiable credentials to assure that privacy and GDPR compliance is met. This is, look, I do recommend people fully read it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because otherwise it'd be like a 20-minute video of me reading. But Civic have got an approach here that makes sense, right? They've got what's this? Oh, that's just press stuff. Okay. Yeah. So they've got an approach that works. They've got their Civic passes. They've got a real purpose to what they're trying to achieve. But identity is a growing sector, and I'm not a huge fan of the whole. I think it's just multiple ways of identity, of having identity online long term is a problem for, and will be a problem for people. And I know this is about privacy preserving, but I still think the vulnerabilities are there. Um, and you know, fundamentally, no one's going to move off of all Web 2 to then go on to Web 3. So then you're going to have your identity plastered everywhere, and you've got vulnerabilities everywhere. For me, I think it's just another thing that could cause a problem. But what I'll say is, look, identity is growing. I still think ontology is ahead in this market right now, um, in terms of their identity solutions. I know Binance use ontology, but I think Civic are pretty well positioned. I think, and they're on key exchanges, um, and I think there has to be another wave of a push. You've got to remember everything comes in sort of cycles, right? Um, and we've not seen, and we saw a sort of small shift over the past year to identity, where there was a bit of a push on identity, but it didn't last very long because the bigger narratives of NFTs, DeFi, um, DEXs, and everything else all took over. Identity has not really had that huge sort of push in terms of like media attention. It's not had a huge push in terms of the leaders of these companies or the leaders of these projects talking on camera. And I think that's inevitable. I think the Web3 stack is going to get so huge over the next. Let's have a look at their Twitter, by the way, because it is up 11%, which nothing really is up today. So let's see why. Um, okay, maybe I've missed something. Um, anyway, yeah, because it's a huge train volume surge as well, 500%. Is it just landed on Coinbase or something? Um, I don't know. So yeah, look, Civic. I do really think Civic is probably going to have that wave because I think identity is inevitably going to have that wave. I think we're going to see I think as well. I think there's a better argument for identity to have a real push in mainstream media when we see hacks and GDPR breaches from, because inevitably something like that will happen, whether it's Facebook or it'll be a big company, but there'll be a GDPR breach, or there'll be a user hack or whatever. But I think, and I can firmly see the Web3 identity solution being a real main point of discussion in media, um, when that happens. And as a result, I think that surge will come. Um, so Civic, has is currently at about 8 cents. It's going to be, I think it's a billion tokens. And that's it. Um, I mean, why can't this hit 80 cents or even $1? Probably it can hit $1 because, identity solutions will probably end up requiring to be $1 billion more, billions of dollars, because I think we're going to end up with millions onboarded over the course of the next 4 or 5 years. So, can it hit $1? Yes, it can. It depends how much market share it takes, because at the moment, Civic and Ontology are the big is have the biggest battleground really for identity. And if they can take Ontology, if they can start beating Ontology in terms of the solutions they provide, then could do way more. But it's definitely got a shot. Definitely got a shot. And I can see the justification for it. What do you guys think? Can you see the justification for the need for an identity solution for all of Web3? Do you think there's a vulnerability there? Am I, that I'm suggesting in terms of, lose your phone, you're also plastered all over every other social media channel on Web 2? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. First, it helps the channel. Second, videos make you money, you don't want to miss them. Third, it's a nice thing to do. Just do it. Just do it. It's new year, new start. Be nice. And if you guys want to see the coins that I own right now, go to coppermycrypto.com. On that site, I share my portfolio. I let the members know anytime I buy or sell a coin. I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. I have tutorials set up for the members, so anyone that's new to crypto can use them to get started. We've got thousands of members. Many of them have never invested in anything. Those tutorials are the same ones I send friends and family. And then on top of that, guys, we have this history of success. Just this spreadsheet alone's got 40x's, 50x's, 60x's. Phantom was a 677 times gain. And when I find the next Phantom, because I was the only one in 2020 speaking about Phantom. There's lots of crypto YouTubers and all of that do Udemy courses, talking about what they think is going to be their best gainer. You can see them everywhere on Udemy. I was the only one that talked about Phantom. By far had the biggest gainer on all of Udemy. I've watched other courses. Mine, no one had 677x. When I get the next one, I'm going to go onto my site and tell my members what the coin is, why I think it can do the gains, what percentage of my money I'm putting in, and they can copy along, they can make the same gains. If you want to do that, take the work out of it for this 2023, then go read the site now. Remember, everything that you read on the site can be verified on the YouTube channel's history. And that's it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.